astro forecast for the week of January 17th to January 23rd. This is a busy week in the astrology. Not only do we have a full moon in Cancer, we have Uranus going direct, which means a planet changing a direction. We have the sun moving into Aquarius, and then we also have the sun coming to conjunct Mercury retrograde. There's a lot happening this week. So let's get into it. So at the beginning of the week, we have a full moon in Cancer. So not only the full moon in Cancer is on Monday, January 17th at 4:48 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and it's at 27 degrees of Cancer. So it's kind of towards the end of Cancer because, of course, it's moving into Aquarius this week. So there's only 30 degrees in the sign. And so when it's not only the kind of end degrees of Cancer, it's kind of amped up Cancerian energy. And what is that? That is water, and that is cardinal water. So this is like our emotions are driving us to do something in our lives. That's our soul speaking to us. Our soul speaks through emotions. And so this watery Cancer sign is all about, the moon is at home in this sign. It is ruled by, Cancer is ruled by the moon. And this is a very emotional, sensitive, intuitive time. This is where our emotions are going to be very, very loud. And what's amping this up even more is Pluto is moving with the sun. So if you recall in astrology, the sun is always opposite the moon at a full moon, exact same degree, exact same minute. And so with the sun in Capricorn, because we're still in Cap season, the moon is in Cancer. And who else is moving through the last degrees of Cancer, or Capricorn, is Pluto. And Pluto is about death, rebirth, transformation, like all the light stuff, right? All the light stuff. So with the Pluto moving next to with the sun during this full moon, this is amping up that structure, order, discipline, the old man patriarchy. That's Cancer. And Pluto is moving through there, just breaking up that shit before we move into more of an Aquarian time in 2023 and fully into 2024. I'm just going to dip in 2023, and then 2024 is going to really be all in. That's kind of the beginning of the ages, kind of the transition into the age of Aquarius. And so when we're doing this full moon, it's going to be amped up. Like, not only are we going to feel really sensitive, but we can also feel like people are out to get us. Like this, like nothing's going to change, man. We want to change it so bad. And this is asking us to be in our soul purpose, right? Our emotions are the language of the soul. And so Cancer is about home, foundations, inner foundation, your family, your early childhood development. And so those roots of the family, the karmic roots of your family, plus the divine feminine. So yeah, you're like, oh my God, that's so much. So really it boils down to, are you listening to your emotions and then taking action? Or are you suppressing your emotions and trying to just push ahead and drive ahead? Because man, this pandemic has been about kind of trying to do the thing. And if you've been suppressing your emotions, or you've been trying to numb out, or doing the things that aren't, that's why the opioid crisis is so high, because we have a mental health issue with society. And instead of reaching out or having the, resources available potentially, we just kind of look to medicate our suffering as a society, right? Netflix and chill. Hello, remember that at the beginning of the pandemic? Or how much did you eat over the pandemic? I'm one of those people. Food is comfort. Food is connection for me. I actually connect over food. And so that's interesting when you start to dig into how do you comfort yourself? What are the things you do to comfort yourself when you're feeling disconnected from self? And can you come back into connection with self? So the full moons always show us our ego and our soul, right? There's always kind of, the moon is our soul nature, our intuition, our guiding light, which is our emotions through our spirit. And the sun is our egoic identity. And we need the egoic identity to keep us safe, to individuate. This is the part of us that's always trying to kind of keep us safe. And the moon is trying to expand us, right? And you're always trying to expand into your soul purpose. So are you living in alignment with your values? Because Venus is going retrograde right now. And Venus is also squaring to Chiron during this time, which is the wounded healer. So where are you not taking authority in your life and you're kind of deferring to the status quo? I'm never going to be able to be in my purpose. I'm never going to be able to have that life. life. Wouldn't it be nice if everyone had money? All of those kinds of things that really block your manifestation. That's why I love in doing MIA Academy, which is my membership, manifestation, intuition, and astrology, because we're coming back into the seat of the soul every time. And so we're actually doing exercises weekly, daily to help you remember who you are. So even when something happens, somebody dies or a job is lost or an unexpected bill comes in or a snowstorm that knocks out power for 4 hours, you're going, wait a second, I have a choice in this moment. I have a choice in this moment to be loved, and it's okay to be sad, of course, right? Especially when somebody passes away or something that you wanted to happen didn't happen. Acknowledging those feelings. We're not trying to bypass, we're not trying to positive it up, because this moon, not going to let you positive it up. That's not going to happen. You're going to feel the feelings very deeply. And if you're comfortable with your feelings and sitting with them and journaling them out and naming it, I feel sad right now. I feel angry right now. How often do you acknowledge the way you feel? How often, right? We were actually taught to not acknowledge the way we feel, just push through, right? Hello, pandemic, just push through. So this is going to be a very intuitive time, this full moon in Cancer. Plus the moon is trining to Neptune, which is really amping up our intuition and our sensitivity even more. And then to add one more piece to this lovely pie, this lovely emotional sensitive pie that we're in, Mars is going to square Neptune. And Mars square to Neptune is like we're confused. We feel like we should be moving ahead, but we're not. Our energy is really waning. We're feeling very tired. This full moon can make you feel so tired, so emotionally drained, right? And it's just been a week. The week before is with Mercury going retrograde and everything being so turbulent with the sun and Pluto moving together. It's not a time where, this is not a time where you're supposed to be trying to, make things happen in your life. This is an introspective time. All of these aspects are telling you to go in, to really contemplate. That's what we're kind of doing with the Academy and even with my Passion and Purpose group. It's going within, right? What's happened in our past. We're digesting the past. We're understanding who we are in this moment. And if you're trying to make things happen and sign contracts and you're not, things aren't going to happen that way for you. So just take the time to be within yourself and notice when you're feeling tired and really build in some more white space and flexibility this week. And I know last week was our kind of return to work officially for many people, and it was a busy week. It was a busy week for me, and nothing went the way it was supposed to. Nothing. There's going to be another week like that. So just build that in. All right, Tuesday, January 18th, Uranus goes direct. Now, Uranus is the planet of evolution, the god of chaos, the great awakener. He likes to change up things. He's the effervescence, that thing that makes you unique. People who have Uranus very strong in their chart have this sense about them that when they enter the room, you're like, whoa, you can't look away. They're just so not only out there, but they're so unique, and there's something about them. Right. And so Uranus is trying to wake that part of you up, right? It's trying to shake you out of judgment. So when Uranus is going direct, so he's been retrograde since August 19th, 2021. And he's such a slow moving planet. He's a big planet out there in space. And 14 degrees of Taurus is where he started. And where is he now? 10 degrees of Taurus. That's how slow he went in those months that he was retrograde. But he's in Taurus. In Taurus, this is quite interesting because this is going to really play out this year as the nodes of the moon move into Taurus and Scorpio. And what's going to happen, we sort of noticed this already, is so Taurus rules the banking system, currency, right? Cryptocurrency, all that kind of stuff. It's changing up the old, right? Changing up the old, our values, right? Nature, the environment, Mother Earth. Like, think about what has been really shaken up over the last few years. And it's really this like environmental awakening, people realizing we're not going to have this earth for another generation or two if we keep going on this path. Our trajectory is escalating. Uranus quickens things, right? It's he's the planet of evolution. So when you think about evolution, it's like we're trying to change for the better, right? We're trying to better things and evolve and elevate. And that's part of the earth right now. Uranus in Taurus is elevating the earth, elevating environmental concerns, changing the way we think about value systems and the way we look after each other, because he's squaring Saturn in Aquarius, which is how we look after each other. What's our responsibility and duty to each other? This whole pandemic started when these two planets started to have experiences with each other. It's very interesting. So with Uranus going direct now, it's not internalized anymore. That change is not internalized. It's now going to be externalized. So all the work you've been doing on yourself from August to now is going to now reflect out into the world. And if you were trying to bypass and meditate your way out of it and kind of meditate or medicate yourself out of it, it's not going to work. Meditation is a lovely gateway to quiet the mind and then do the work. Right? It can also be a way that you medicate yourself and bypass what you actually have to do, because it gives you a reprieve from your brain, right? It's lovely. It's just like antidepressants. Antidepressants have such a place in our society because if you can't handle your emotions, or you can't handle, or you're feeling so sad, so you need the reprieve, right? It almost is like holding back the floodwaters for a time. And then you do the internal work of the trauma healing and understanding where these things are coming from and how do I fit and sit with my emotions so that they don't overwhelm me. So the meditation helps with that, right? Antidepressants help with that. Anti-anxiety pills help with that. Marijuana helps with that. And it's not meant to be a crutch, right? That's why all my lovely clients, and I'm like, I love edibles, I love marijuana. And it's like, that's great. And it's a crutch. It's a crutch, right? Your soul, you were born whole. And when you start to use substances to help to regulate yourself, that's a flag that something you cannot self-regulate. You require something to regulate. And that's okay. There's no shame in that. But can we then understand when we are in those states that we are being helped with our regulation to then do the inner work of being able to self-regulate without that stuff? That's all I'm saying. I have no judgment about people who do any of that stuff. And this time is asking you, did you do the internal work or did you run away? And if you did run away, that's fine, right? The universe gives you time and time and time again to sit with yourself and understand how this works. And the universe will bring you another life lesson to show you that it's okay, right? And they'll bring you gifts and people who are gifted with this, people who can help you, like me. Like you're not alone in this. And I think there's this real fallacy of doing it by yourself. It's actually a trauma response that I was talking to someone about, that I myself am healing, because I've learned to just rely on myself because people depended on me. I couldn't ask for help. There was no one to ask for help for. I was the one helping. And so I've just learned how to do the things without asking for help. And now I have this amazing team. They're like, oh, let me take that off your plate. Oh, I can help you with that. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about asking for help for that. Right? Like, so you could have a trauma where you don't even think about asking for help because you've only had to rely on yourself. Or you could have a trauma where one of my friends has this, where every time they've asked for help when they were younger, they were denied it. So they can't trust anyone else. So there's multiple reasons why we do what we do. There's no cut and dry. I can't say. What I do know is that extreme self-reliance is a trauma response in relation to something that happened. What was this something that happened? It depends. It could be different. That response can be a response to many different things to try to keep ourselves safe. Something to think about. So as Uranus goes direct on Tuesday, January 18th, we are now going to see rapid changes in the environment, in the banking system. I definitely feel like we're going to see a interest rate increase in the central banking system around the world, because inflation is going up and they have no other way to control it, unfortunately. So we are going to see interest rates increase. So what needs to change? So when it was retrograde, when Uranus was retrograde from August 19th to January 18th, there was something that was changing within yourself. And now the changes are going to become evident as it comes out. So it's going to be really quite interesting. And At this point in time, on this exact date, the nodes of the moon are also shifting out of Gemini, Sagittarius, and into Taurus and Scorpio. It's a big one. This is big, and I don't think it's as big as people are sort of talking about. So when the nodes of the moon shift out of signs, they're kind of going back in the zodiac. It's kind of a bit of a story, but what we know is it's an 18-month transit. So it's an 18-month cycle. And as it enters the sign, it's now bringing our karmic destiny, our evolution of our planet into Taurus. This is where our planet is now moving towards. And again, what's in Taurus? Uranus. And Taurus again is about banking, currency, money. What do we value, right? Our gifts and talents as well, but more so nature, the earth, Mother Nature, the environment. So you're going to see a lot of things changing in this area. The nodes of the moon, our karmic evolution is trying to evolve. What do we value and how do we value what we value, right? And so that's going to be currency changes and things like that are going to really take off here in the next 18 months. And then the south node of the moon is our karmic past. What are we healing from the past? So we're leaving it in the past and we're learning the nuggets of wisdom to bring into the future. And that is in Scorpio. Scorpio rules sex, sexuality, intimacy, toxic poisons, kind of the things, the dredges of society that we don't like to talk about, the shadow. And a big one is all the taboo subjects. So when I think it was Jupiter moved into Scorpio, that was when the Me Too movement just kicked off. And we finally got to see, all this hidden stuff that, especially in Hollywood, that was people of privilege, men of privilege, was able to kind of scrape under the rug and muscle their way around. And when that Me Too movement came out, man, that voice just took it all down. And we got to see that side of society, and we got to evolve that part of society. Those women had a voice. It was, the whole believe her, that was a big thing. So it's really quite interesting. We're going to start to see what else is going to be revealed here, right? Secrets are going to come out. And I think we're going to really see like where people are hiding their money and who's hiding their money and where's the fraud in the world. I think we're also going to see a lot about poison and toxicity in the world, in the environment, in our bodies. We're going to see a lot of that. And there'll be a lot of kind of cleansing. What can we do to cleanse it to kind of give everyone longevity of life, including Mother Earth too. So very interesting. Wednesday, January 19th, the sun is moving into Aquarius. Happy birthday, Aquarians around the world. Aquarius is a time of community, connection, associations, aspirations, long-term goals. This is a time of intellect, but it's a fixed air sign. So that means that it can be stubbornness. People going, this is what I believe. And you guys show me that it's not real. And I'm not going to really listen anyway, because I know what I know. So it can be this time where a lot of, society is kind of digging in with what they feel they know to be true. And our way through is through love and connection, because Aquarius loves to connect, loves to have intellectual conversations, hates that run of the mill. How's the weather? Everything good? Good with you? Yeah, good. Yeah, the weather's lovely. Yeah, I can't believe you. Right? You try to do that with an Aquarius and they're like out. So learning about what makes you unique. Aquarians have their own unique effervescence. They are here to break up the old crap. They are not here to conform to society. You tell an Aquarius what they can and cannot do, and they will defy you because that's what they do. So they're not here to fit into a box. They're here to break the box apart and create a new system that defies the laws of the box, right? So it's interesting because as we start to see this, identity shifting for the collective around sexuality and intimacy and our sexual roles that we play, I think we're really going to see a lot more about the LGBTQ IA, I think that's the proper acronym, those kind of fluid gender roles and stuff like that really coming to the surface now, more so learning what makes you unique and celebrate it and find a tribe that celebrates it. That's the thing. When you're hiding who you are, you're attracting people who are hiding who they are or who are attracted to your mask, right? And then you're like, I have no authentic relationships. I'm like, yeah, because no one can see who you really are. And the person you really are is way more exciting than the how's the weather today, that kind of person. So this is about finding your tribe, your unique tribe that celebrates your unique gifts, that they themselves have their unique gifts. And it's very progressive, independent, humanitarian based, friends, intellect. But on the negative side of things, it can be kind of detached. Not negative side, I would say an obstacle is being detached from emotions, right? Aquarius likes to be very cerebral with their emotions. They think things through and they think their emotions through instead of feeling their emotions. So all the lovely Aquarians that are in my mediumship class and my intuition classes, I'm always like, how does that feel in the body? And they're like, I don't know. I don't do that. Like, yeah, if you listen to the emotions or the language of the soul, how much better can it get? What's the best that can happen when you start listening to your soul? You marry that logic with your soul and you get harmony, right? Inspired action from your intuition is harmony. So we can do that. And then Thursday, that's all right. Don't overextend yourself and be kind of careful that you're not taking on too much on Thursday. These are more moon aspects. Friday, you've got some ingenious ideas coming in here. Great day to sort of brainstorm or kind of come up with some solutions for some things. Saturday, looks like not a great day. Intense emotions, may feel very frustrated. Don't act on your emotions. There's a lot of squares to the moon and kind of just some confusion happening on Saturday. So great day to just kind of take it easy. And then Sunday, we have the sun conjunct Mercury retrograde. So when Mercury is retrograde and he's still in Aquarius at this time, he's going to be about thinking about what's your unique gifts and talents, Aquarius, thinking. So Mercury is the mind, communication, the way we think and process thought. It's also our coordination. So anyone who is a Virgo or Gemini or has a lot of Virgo and Gemini in their chart, Mercury retrograde, especially if you were born with Mercury direct, has a lot of lot to do with your actions. And so I have been so clumsy. I don't know. I can't even believe I haven't fallen down the stairs yet. Let's not put that out there, knock on wood. But yes, that I've dropped things all the time. It's been crazy. My coordination is very off. And when I look in the astrology, it's supported by my astrology right now to be very careful. And I'm very deliberate with my actions. So it's very interesting when we start to see that, Mercury retrograde in Aquarius is about thinking about our unique place in society. It's about thinking about what ideas have we not actually developed because maybe we have abandoned them, thinking that they would not be accepted by society. And so when we start to see that uniqueness, right, this is how you synthesize an astrology. You understand what the planet rules, you understand the sign, and then you understand sort of what's coming up when you put them together, right? So with the sun, was our egoic side, our will, our identity, the way that we shine our light in Aquarius. This is asking you to think about where are the places that you have abandoned yourself or you haven't really fully accessed or expressed who you really are because you were scared of judgment, because you were scared of not being accepted, because you saw someone else going through it, or maybe because you were told, shut up, don't say that. You put that nonsense about spirit away because no one's going to accept you. So this Sunday, and it's going to be the Sunday, January 23rd, but it's going to be felt because Mercury's retrograde and the sun is going 1 degree per day. So we're going to feel this aspect Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So even a little bit more. So we call it applying, right? So the Mercury and the sun are coming together exact on Sunday, January 23rd, and then they'll be coming apart and then that's separating. So they're going to be together for some time, like I said, because the sun is moving direct, Mercury is going retrograde. So it's almost like they're going like this, right? Mathematically, of course, not really. And so this is going to be a time to rethink long-term goals and aspirations. Are you living in accordance with your purpose, being of service to humanity, and really paying attention to how you feel and the thoughts that you're thinking and where they're holding you in a pattern of the past, as opposed to this exciting pattern of the future that you could be creating? So Nice light week, right? And to be forewarned is to be forearmed. So when your schedule is really busy or someone's asking you to do something, or they're having a deep conversation with you about something that's triggering you, you're realizing what, let's say it's Sunday, someone's having a conversation with you that's really triggering you. Ask yourself, what part of me is being triggered here? What is an old pattern that is being coming up now for me to see this so I can evolve it, so I can evolve past it? Because the person is just mirroring something to you that you don't like about yourself. That's it. We like to project it and go, you bitch, right? It's like, I don't do anything. You're doing it. So I know that might be hard to hear in the moment, but it's important for you to come in, especially on this day, and maybe every day, really, when that happens, checking in, going, how do I own this? What part am I playing in this story? And are they wanting me to play a part in their story so it makes them feel good? But what if this is reflecting back to me, especially if you're irritated, you're triggered, you're angry, something they're saying is making you feel that way, and that making you feel is here. No one makes you feel anything, right? No one can make you feel anything. If somebody came up and said, you have purple hair, and I don't know, like, okay, whatever, I don't care. What does that mean? That means nothing to me. But if they say you're fat and I've had a problem with my weight, they'd be like, okay. Or you're an asshole. Why would you call me that? You don't even know, you're so insensitive, right? Those are the two experiences. Either you go inward and collapse or you go outward and project. And so when that happens, it's pushed on a button, a thorn that I have in me, right? You can't push the button if there's no button there to press. I don't have purple hair. Whatever. I just think you're insane. Okay, great. Thanks. It means nothing to me. But you push on the thorn that I already have, that's going to mean something. So thinking about that. So I hope that this helps you to navigate this week. There's lots of nuggets of wisdom and opportunity here for you to kind of see what's your soul purpose? How exciting is that? How can I live it? What's the next step? Why have I been holding myself back? Ooh, that's so interesting. I want you to use that. That's so interesting. Oh my goodness. I'm so curious. I wonder why. And move out of judgment into self-compassion. All right. Wishing you a wonderful week ahead. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Some of these are long. This is a long week. There's lots to talk about. So I hope you got through this. And if you're at the end and you're listening to this, please drop me a heart below and I will drop you a heart back because I appreciate you.